So I want to teach you another voice lesson. And just like last time, this is not a voice lesson necessarily for singers or speakers or whatever. This is a voice lesson that transfers from physical voice to big V voice in life and back again. So this is for anyone in the world who is looking for their voice and wanting to share that in a free way. What I have found is that many, if not all, of the ways that we can find a free voice in our physical body are the same ways in which we can find a free voice in our life. And I think that there are profound lessons to be learned applying traditional voice lessons to living. So I'm going to share another one of those with you this week. This time I want to focus on the way that the breath moves through the body as a vehicle for the voice. So if you remember the last time, the last week's video, you can go back and see it if you haven't. I talked about kind of the backdrop for this journey is finding a way to where we want to go that is not horrible, but is actually feels wonderful to us. You can picture it as, I want to get to this ocean over here, but I have to trudge through this swampland and then all these thorns and brush, and I may not make it, but if I do, it's going to be awesome because I'm going to get to the ocean. Moving from that mentality of what it's like to live life to a new mentality of every step that I take on this path that is going towards this ocean that I would really like to get to is in itself wonderful. It feels wonderful. And the beauty of this, which I don't think I mentioned last time, but maybe is just intuitive, even if I don't get to the ocean, it's kind of like not a big deal because the path itself is its own ocean in a way. And maybe there's a bigger lesson there, like maybe the ocean isn't over there. Maybe I'm standing in it now. That'll be for a different video. For now, I'm going to share a voice lesson with you in both senses for how to use breathing as a vehicle for the voice in a way that helps to make speaking or singing feel wonderful. So in this case, the ocean is, I want to say something, or I want to sing a song. And I want to get to that, but my old way of thinking is, I'm going to get to that no matter what it takes. I'm going to push through. I have a sore throat today. It doesn't matter. I'm going to push through. I feel nervous. I feel this. I feel that. I feel tight. It doesn't matter. Push through because I got to say this thing. It's really important. Maybe it's a conversation that you don't want to have. And so you have all these physical holds that start to take place, but I don't care, I'm just going to push through, I just got to say this thing. Or maybe you're getting on stage to sing and you don't feel totally comfortable with it yet, and but I don't care, I just got to sing the song, I got to sing it well. And what happens, whether that's that hard conversation or whether it's that song on the stage, every time, I think, is that not only does it not feel good, not only does it maybe actually feel bad, but we miss the whole point of having that important conversation or of singing that song. We spend our whole song, literally or metaphorically, our whole song, that song can be your life. We spend our whole song preoccupied with trying to not feel the painful feeling of making the song. And we just sort of miss the song while feeling horrible. I'm going to share a little voice thing with you that will help you, will support you in singing your song while feeling wonderful. So here's what it is. Have you ever been to a water park where there's a big wave pool? If you haven't ever seen one, you can Google it to get the image if you want to. And I'll describe it. It's just like a really, really wide pool that has these waves that span from one side of the pool to the other side of the pool. And they slowly come out and wash over all the people in the pool. And everybody gets to go on this big wave, and it's really fun. But it comes out so wide, and you never see this in nature because it's never this symmetrical and perfect, but it's just this long, wide, I guess you see it in normal waves too, but they're always like diagonal. Anyway, long, wide wave comes your way, and I want you to picture, and I'll do this too, picture your next few breaths as wide like that wave and big like that wave. So I'll do it with you. And picture that your body is the pool. Your body is the pool, and the wave is the breath. And it's just going all the way through your body. So like, in the pool, the wave starts on one side, it ends on the other. Let's say that your body is the pool, and one side is like your head, maybe, and the other is down to your toes. And to see if you can picture this, it's not a skinny wave, it's wide. It's wider than your whole body, and it's just going to go all the way down to your toes, and then you can let it go back the other way too. So this is more unique than that specific picture, but it can bounce back then all the way back out. Wide wave in, wide wave out. And then as you do that, if you're alone and or you just feel comfortable enough, you can actually make some sound, remembering that the voice rides on the wave of the breath. If you don't take that breath, you literally cannot make a voice sound. You can make other sounds, but you cannot make a voice sound if you don't breathe in. And you cannot make a voice sound if you don't release that breath. So it's very, very necessarily connected. So really wide breath in, really wide breath out, and you just picture that wave. It just comes in wide, all the way down to your toes, and then all the way back out. And your job, while this breath is coming in, is not to create the breath. Your job is to become the big empty pool that wave gets to fill, flow through, and flow out. And your only job is to remain open and to let that wave be wide, flowing in freely, flowing out freely. And then you can put some voice on it. And I'll show you the difference. Although it might be hard for me I'll try not to pretend, but let me just try to psych myself out here and just get kind of nervous, okay? Okay, so I want to say something to you. I'm a little nervous, and I'm kind of holding my breath kind of naturally. This is what I do when I'm anxious and I have to say something, and there's not a lot of breath coming, and it feels, instead of like a big wide wave, it feels like a tiny little sip, and it starts down in my belly instead of starting up here, and it's just like tiny sip through a straw of voice. So this is how I'm talking. So now I'm going to switch to the wave. And I'll do it a couple times before I try to say anything in particular. Now I'm allowing the breath to come in as a wave, and I'm allowing it to go out as a wave. And it may be that I talk a little bit slower, but that's not, I don't think, the point. I think if I try to talk really fast still, but really still allow that wide wave to be the main thing, you can hear, I think you may be able to hear, let me know in the comments or whatever, let me know if you can hear a difference in the voice. I feel, though, and this is the important part, the voice feels, the process of voicing feels completely different to me. And that first way that I was just talking to you before, and I'm starting to go into it now because I'm starting to go like, oh, I hope I can make a good point. So I'm still learning all this as I'm trying to teach it, but that way of talking that I did before, where I was pushing through and ignoring how it feels, felt crappy to me, but also it felt very limited in that I probably go for like 5 minutes like that, and I need to just stop talking because I've depleted myself. I'd be exhausted after 5 minutes. But I've done whole hour-long concerts like that, and I feel so bad after those concerts. I feel so bad after an hour long of pushing or certain conversations in my life. So bad. And it doesn't have to be a scary concert or a scary conversation. It can be an exciting one. But we can still tend to limit ourselves because of whatever reasons. And we deplete ourselves over the course of those conversations. And again, this is a metaphor for life. So it can be a year of our life that we do this, whatever it is. Our career, our whatever. Relationships can just feel like pushing until we are just depleted. And my suggestion to you, just like a moment ago, when I spoke in a way that depleted me, and I'll do it again now, and you can do it too if you want to, allow that really wide wave to go in and then to kind of let the space remain as the wide wave leaves. So I'm making space for the wave to come in, and then I'm allowing that space to stay open while the wave goes out. I'm not closing it and filling it back up. Just open and then leave it open. If I can give a whole concert, with that openness, who cares what it sounds like? Like maybe I sound worse. According to who, I don't know. But let's say that I sound worse somehow. Or let's say that it's a conversation that's important and I sound worse. But the whole thing feels wonderful to me, every step of it. Which is really worse? Performing well for other people while destroying yourself? Or pursuing an interaction with other people in a way where every step feels wonderful and nourishing to yourself? I would argue that all these people in my audience are going to die. And so is whoever I'm talking to. And so is whoever I'm trying to impress or work for, or my Instagram followers, or whatever it is. They're all going to die. And I'm going to die too. But on top of that, not only are they all going to die someday, and their opinion will become nothing, but even now, as they're still technically alive, their opinion is already nothing. And even if their opinion was not nothing, they're going to switch channels away from me in a matter of seconds, in the blink of an eye. I will not be on their mind. But they'll be on mine, because I'm focused on how do I sound? How do I look to others? To my own detriment. What if I was to slow down a little bit, take stock, and say, no, I want to invite a wide wave through my body. I want to, like last week, invite that little bit of resonance to become this wonderful feeling in my nose that stays there all the time. Maybe I can even combine the two. And just as a side note, I have about 25 more of these that I've found over time. What if every step feels wonderful to me, and I can just let what other people think of me go? Now here's the really beautiful part to me. If I'm on a stage, people are looking at me, whether that stage is a physical stage or whether that stage is my Facebook account, or whether that stage is my position as a parent talking to my child, or a husband talking to my wife, or a friend, or whatever. And I step onto this stage. If that person, the audience, whether it's my wife or my child or an actual audience, is looking to me, wherever I go is where I'm inviting them to follow. It doesn't matter what I'm saying. It doesn't matter what notes I'm singing. If the quality of my experience is painful, I lead them into pain. If the quality of my experience is wonderful, I lead them into wonderful. Wonder, I don't know. Good stuff. It's such an important thing to realize that what we say does not matter. It's where it comes from that matters. And we can beat our head against the wall trying to say the same thing over and over to the world around us, and it will not amount to anything if what we're experiencing in order to say that is at odds with what we're saying. The quality from which we speak is where our voice leads the world around us, because that's where we are. So it's worth it to do this kind of goofy work, because it changes everything. I'm going to do it one more time with you. Wide pool. Allow that breath all the way in, and then let the space remain as you allow it to go all the way out. And I realize in this moment that even though I'm talking to a camera, even though I'm going to put this on YouTube and I hope that someone maybe benefits from it, I don't care, because I am practicing something right now that is nourishing me. And if anyone happens to be watching this, they will be, and if they're actually following me into this, I will be leading somewhere I actually want to lead. I was going to play a song. I'm not going to play a song. I feel like this has gone plenty long. And I'll maybe play an extra song next time. But this feels like a good place to stop. If you explore this with me, please let me know. This is not my attempt to make the algorithm like my video. You can let me know by emailing me, or you can let me know by commenting. But I just love to hear how these types of explorations, if and how they resonate with other people, with you. So I hope to hear from you, and we can practice this today, the rest of today, together. Don't drop anything. They are listening. They are listening. You aren't very strong, but they don't know that yet. They can't ever know, or you will be alone. And you can't take that chance. You can't make a mess. They are listening. They are listening. So don't drop anything. So step with careful steps, sing right on the edge, make 'em cry again, 'cause this is all you have, this is all I am, it's my only chance. They are listening. They are listening. So don't drop anything. The war is over now. You can feel relief. You can breathe again. You aren't very strong. You don't need to be. You are not alone. You are not alone. So you can take that chance.